first, kind of a little bit off, but we saw your little cameo in the Kingdom there with the Kelsey uniform. How much have you just treasured that over the years, and how much have you guys become more friends? Because we've seen you talk about cheese curds and everything with him too.
Yeah, man, he's a special dude. When you talk about the greats, but also being a great person, it's an honor even being his teammate, and to call him a friend is pretty cool too. And then having that memory that I'll share with my family, for generations to come is huge, and something I'll always look back and smile on.
So you're friends with him, you're teammates with him. Is there still like a celebrity feeling to him though? Is that something you recognize?
I mean, yeah, I obviously recognize it, but you're around guys so long, like it's just like it comes, he's Trav, he's a dude.
Yeah.
So nobody's started or whatever the word is,
Yeah.
but he's just a good dude and good dude to be around.
These are preseason games, but do you want to show out a little bit better this week than in Seattle?
Oh yeah, the whole team felt it. Coaches, players, all of us are pretty upset with ourselves following that game, and the best we can do is remember how we felt after that game and prepare ourselves best we can here, and have some good momentum going forward.
How does Steve Spagnuolo handle? I know he's a coach that's loved by the players. How does he handle a situation like that, just to make sure you guys get that message across?
It's doing our best we can to kind of replicate in season kind of week. Because obviously we're going to be ready no matter what in season, especially. So just making sure all guys are doing their routine. We're practicing the way we want to practice. So it's nothing too out of the box, out of the ordinary. Just making sure we're all on the same page. We can't think of it as a preseason game. We got to think of it as a game. Whenever we step on the field, we're going to compete.
And you mentioned energy sometimes in previous practices, just having to bring the energy, especially setting after the Seattle game. Is that something you guys have emphasized this week, that even though it is a preseason game, you don't want to go all the way out, but you still want to bring some energy to this?
Right, we're competitors, so you feel like naturally it come, and I don't feel like anybody's feeling pressured, to bring energy. All of us, kind of bring that naturally, and I feel like as a team we do a good job of, if we feel things are getting low, a lot of guys, a lot of leaders step up and be kind of pull everybody along, no, let's wake up here and let's get going.
These last 3 days have been pretty difficult with the heat and just afternoon practices. How hard is it to, after all of training camp, and to come back and still kind of push through these last few days?
You got the grueling practices at training camp. It makes these things a lot easier. We're taking a ton more reps during training camp. Bouncing around from drill to drill, on a dot. So it makes these situations a lot easier. It makes games a lot easier. And we're flying around just as fast, but we're just better prepared for it. Better prepared for the heat.
When you're a returner in Steve's defense, he likes to add to your plate. What do you see, or how do you see your role maybe expanding this year based on what training camp has been?
I got a decent amount of opportunity last year, and maybe it's some more situations, more and more with regarding the quarterback, spying the quarterback, and I personally need to do a lot better job at getting to the quarterback, when I'm put in those positions, on the edge or whatever, because they trust me. They want me to be out there, but they want to be able to say okay, if we're going to take out an edge rusher that we trust, is he going to do just as good or better? So that's something I've really pushed myself on, and taking that into account.
What is the practice and work been like to try and if you are going to rush from the edge?
I think this year has been really good, especially during training camp. I've been able to, usually we go 7-on-7, with the skill guys and the D lines or one-on-ones. I'll, hit my 7-on-7 reps. Then when the twos are going, I'll jump down with the one-on-ones. So I think that's been a big help, just, getting those reps and against those guys where we know it's all right, it's a passing down, I'm blitzing. So to get those extra reps is huge.
That was something you were really good at in college. I guess how does it feel to maybe get that roll back in a way?
Yeah, I think, looking back to college, it's a lot of my rushes that I succeeded on were in between the tackles. So to get the actual reps off the edge is super helpful. As much as I can get, it's going to be super helpful, and continue to learn from, the guys that do it so well in front of me. So it's kind of building and getting more comfortable, and, not guessing or making, pre-meditating or whatever my pass rush moves. That's kind of the next step.
You're not necessarily an old guy, but you're a veteran. You've been through cut down days and all that stuff. What sort of advice do you have for the young guys who are trying to make this team, and how tough this next 5 days will be on them?
Just do your best to keep your routine, because I think it's so easy just to try to like overstudy, take too many supplements, on game day, or, down that line, you go anything, like overload yourself and you're gonna explode. I feel like the guys we have been doing a good job in terms of their routine and preparedness. I would just say keep doing that, keep being confident, because, they're football players that got here for a reason, so you just need to trust that, and, trust the coaches that they're putting you out there for a reason.
Last one. Thanks, Leo.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.